Yo, what's going on, guys? How you doing? Optimus, Ginger, Nils, great week. Let's just get into it real quick. I know you guys want to go party for your weekends. What's up, Rav? How you doing? Let's get into SPY here real quick. Great couple of weeks here. We've been nailing everything. The market decided to go bullish, and like we told you through this whole chop right here, we told you this entire chop, just take it easy, relax. The market will get better. During this whole chop, we were just chilling, taking smaller positions, taking less trades. Why did we do that? There's a reason. We just waited till the setup presented itself, and it presented itself, and we took advantage of it. For the last 2 weeks, we've just been crushing calls on a lot of names. I can't even name them all off. I think today was all-time highs on SPY. Again, TradingView is messing up for me, so I don't know for sure. 467. I think that is all-time high. But we closed with a little doji up here. This is not a good candle on the daily. It's signaling a reversal right now. So let's see what happens on Monday. Maybe we get a little bit of a pullback. The size of the pullback is what matters. So if we want to pull back, that's fine. We can just bull flag like this. That's fine. And then rip to the next highs. But if we start going a little lower than 50% of this move right here, which would put us around... I know it's Friday, I'll try to be fast. I'm just going to do this on SPY and not the other ones. I always forget this one. So, oh, that's not the one. Right here, so you just click on that date and price range, you click the top to the bottom. That's the whole bull run we did right there. Clicked it the wrong way, but yeah. That's all you have to do to figure out how big a move was. And we moved up 5.36%. So for healthy consolidation, generally you'd want to only see a 2% pullback, 2 or 3% pullback. You don't want to see more than a 50% pullback. What's up, BB7? How you doing? Kritik, Andrew's in here. So you don't want to see more than a 50% pullback, and we moved up 5.36%. You can do the math on your own. And we don't want to see increased bear volume on the pullback. When we do pull back, I don't want to see any bear volume that's very high. If it's significant bear volume, we could pull back a lot more. Other than that, we're in complete melt-up mode. All-time highs, everything looks great, bullish. QQQ, a little bit of pullback on those Powell comments earlier, but we ripped right back. Everything looks great on here. We're just bull flagging. Huge move up 5 days in a row. And now just sideways, waiting for the next move up to all-time highs, which is at 382.35. Yeah, 382.35 on QQQ, all-time high, next resistance. XLF, strongest sector by far. It was holding up SPY, even while Tech was dumping. All-time highs again. So in the past 3 days, XLF has made a new all-time high intraday every single day. That should tell you something. I think a big part of that is this AXP that went to all-time highs with great earnings, up 5.4% today. And it was even higher at one point in the day. We've called out this AXP in the Discord so many times. I said I love this stock. I like it way more better than MasterCard, Visa. Like I told you guys, MasterCard needs to close over 360 to get me interested. Visa, exact same pattern as MasterCard, needs to close over 233. But this AXP is at all-time highs while these ones lag. So keep an eye on this AXP for continued strength. If the banks want to go up, this one should lead. And the rest should be laggards. I'll check it out at the end. IWM, we're in the 235s for December. Why? We're just flagging up here if we do break out. I already went over all this. You guys know this already. ES, just between the levels all day. No big breakout, no big dump off. Just traded the levels all day. From the top to the bottom to the mid. Chopped around and couldn't break out anywhere. VIX down here. I told you guys it hasn't been down here since June. And once the VIX comes down here, it can move sideways. There can be little quick pops, but most of the time it leads to a bigger pop. So if you look on July 8th, we got that bigger pop out of this little base. Let's see what happened to SPY on July 8th here. Now this is not saying the exact same thing will happen. It's just patterns. You just have to see, look at this. July 8th was the bottom on SPY right here. If you guys can see that little day off the 21-day moving average. So we just got that little pop, little dip in the indices. So let's see if VIX wants to spike or will it just go sideways here. Looks like we were getting the exact same pattern as this right here. So we had a big dump off. We got a little doji. Continue to base out for a little bit. One big pop this day. Continue to base and then just ripped. So let's see what happens with the VIX. Make sure you keep an eye on it. It's very important here. TNX. Like I told you guys, yields, when the yields are up, it's very hard for tech to go up, and this is a very odd sight. For the yields to be up in a straight line and for tech to be up in a straight line, it doesn't happen much. The correlation will come true soon, so just pay attention. Make sure you guys are prepared for a pullback if there is one, because there might be one next week. But you didn't hear that from me. Just play the trend. Trend is your friend. Don't start playing puts just because I said that. I'm just saying be aware. Trump DWAC, they're opening options on this one next week. Called out yesterday at 13 bucks. Got a bunch of equity with the team. I hope you guys sold because a lot came down, went to 175, completely dumped after that, closed at 94. Let's see what happens next week when there's puts and calls available. But right now, after hours dumping as well. This one is a no touch for me now. I made my money. I'm out of it. I don't care about it. Maybe for a little $5 scalp or $10 scalp or something, just because the volatility's there. But other than that, I'm not really interested in holding it. Amazon looks like dog shit, but there's one pattern. I wanted to actually get into Amazon at the close. Why didn't I? It's because the calls were super expensive. So Amazon has this ascending resistance. We finally broke through it on October 15th, the day that we hit those 3,000% options, lottos on Amazon. We broke through it, came back up, failed the bull flag, came back down, and now we're retesting. And another thing is the 200-day moving average is right here as well. 200-day moving average is at 3339. 33, what the hell? Why is it so dark? I don't know. You guys look at your charts, but all the moving averages are here. This resistance is here. Breakout, retest. Now do we rip? We have earnings on October 28th, I believe, next week for Amazon. I wanted to grab calls. Like I said, the 3500s, which is $170 out of the money, were $20 each. So I was like, I'm good. I'll wait for the next play. Other than that, Amazon looks like complete shit. I think if we get a run up into earnings, that's the only thing that you can hope for. LC, we closed my base breakout above the level. So we have a monthly and a weekly base breakout over 34. And we did close over 34. I've been saying it all week. Only thing that matters on LC is a close over 34. We got a weird looking weekly candle here, but we did close above 34. That's all I wanted to see. Volume isn't as much as I'd like. Let's see. We have earnings on Tuesday on LC, so maybe we get a run up on Monday. We get to get out of some of our options, maybe take some profits just in case. But I do think earnings are going to go good. Let's see what happens on this one. I'm pretty confident in it, fairly confident. ATVI, huge day. Our options hit 100%. We went in the money for November 19th options, and then we just pulled right back. So ATVI did reject today. We did close above the 50-day moving average, which was very good. Next level, we need to close above 80.50. If we close above 80.50, I think this one goes straight to 89.50. So keep an eye on ATVI. We still have a bunch of catalysts in this one. Tesla, absolute monster today. Tesla, why am I saying it's a monster? They crushed earnings. Gap went way up yesterday. Continuation today. We had those 950s for next week. We sold for about 50%. I sold them because because of Powell's comments on the market, and the market was going down. I just wanted to protect my gains. So I sold the rest at around break even just to protect the green trade. We got our green trade, and then it dumped, and then it came back, but I'm not too worried. We made our money. On to the next one. Fastly, nice little consolidation. I mean, that's not the best candle ever, but look, it went and almost touched the 8-day. The 8-day moving average at 46.86. We touched 47.28. Maybe 1 or 2 more days of consolidation just to let the moving averages catch up, but I do believe this one goes to 53.50. We have another week on those calls, so I'm not too worried about those. Facebook, big gap down off Snap earnings. Now the level is 328.55. It's right on the 200-day moving average again. Look what it did last time. It touched the 200-day moving average. It ran like 6 days in a row. So right now, the 200-day moving average is at 319.60 for Facebook. It touched 321.11, and I believe it touched 319 after hours yesterday. Yep, so it went down and tagged the 200-day moving average and after hours and ripped off that one. So nice buy the dip opportunity there. If we get above 328.55, this one should run back to 338 and beyond. So Facebook, keep a very close eye on that one. We do have earnings next week. Let's see what happens. Pins, no news about the PayPal merger, and I expect it to slowly bleed down until they get news about that merger. The only reason they pop like this is because they were going to get bought out. Now they're not getting bought out, so obviously it comes back a little bit. Fiverr is definitely one to watch. Like I've been telling you guys, Fiverr is almost doing, you see how it gapped down on earnings and then just went sideways for a long time? It should fill this gap all the way to 229 and then go past that. Why do I say that? It's just patterns. Etsy, look at this. Big gap down off earnings, sideways for a long time. Exact same pattern, sideways and then rip and then sideways and then absolute ripper. So watch Fiverr next week. If Fiverr starts going, especially with this hammer candle it formed off this volume shelf, Fiverr could be ready to go next week. Very, very important watch on this one. In my opinion, I'm going to be watching it for sure. Airbnb looks great, just basing up here, basing above this 163. If I get 163, I'll add equity. Other than that, I'm waiting. RDW, gave you guys this one on a silver platter. I told you guys might get a deal with Amazon. We were buying down here in the 10s, and I know Nils bought it for sure, and I think Gumball Profits has some too. We have some equity here. We're already up very, very nicely on this one. As soon as they announce that Amazon news, this one should fly to all-time highs, which is 1334. Make sure you're scaling out on the way. Even if they don't get the Amazon partnership, this one is a solid company, solid business, balance sheet, solid everything. They're undervalued for their sector, so keep an eye on this one as well, even if they don't get it. Snap, we jumped into some calls for next week. I seen massive flow today on Snapchat. Next week's leaps, everything, millions and millions of dollars in orders. And we did break the support. Honestly, this play is completely about momentum and flow. So I'm just watching the flow on this one. I'm not really too worried about anything else. There's no real support here. So honestly, Snap could keep falling. I'm not going to lie to you. Snap could absolutely keep falling down to the 40s, 30s, whatever you want. But that order that I seen, someone put in $3 million for next week above the ask, so they didn't even care what price they got filled, and that's super bullish in my opinion. So I followed them with a small position. Let's see what happens. Other than that, I mean, the market looks very bullish. It looks like we're in full melt up mode. Nothing to worry about here. There's no reason for puts yet, in my opinion, unless you're just hedging because you have a lot of positions. Everything looks bullish. I'm not too worried. Let's see Monday. If we gap down on Monday, we'll know how to handle it. I told you guys, always take profits. Always don't be too greedy. Don't have FOMO. And thank you guys for attending. Enjoy your weekend after a great week. I'll see you guys on Monday.